Hi, I'm Adam, and even though this past weekend wasn't exactly magnificent at the box office, saddle up because we've got a lot in stork for you this week on Making Dollars and Cents. Riding into the number one spot this week was Magnificent Seven, which was a remake of the 1960 Western classic, which was also a remake of the 1954 Japanese film Seven Samurai, proving yet again that there is nothing new under the sun. But despite taking the number one spot, it opened with an underwhelming $34 million on a $90 million budget, so it's got a lot of work to do if it wants to break even. From a critical standpoint, it was a little bit more optimistic. The cast was praised for a lot of their performances and the fact that they turned this little Western movie into a fun night at the movies. And in this world of extended universes and franchises, maybe a one-off is exactly what we needed. Not to mention the fact that the cast is actually diverse, which is always a welcome change, especially in blockbusters, because let's be real, we're all sick of seeing white people in everything. And swooping in at the number two spot this week was Nicholas Stoller's animated film Storks, with $21 million on a budget of $70 million. So yes, another underwhelming performance monetarily, but this thing is a crowd pleaser. No, Storks doesn't have the dark cultural relevance of something like Zootopia or the dark storytelling of Kubo and the Two Strings, but think along the lines of Secret Life of Pets. Bright colors, light jokes, just a fun time for the family, and that's exactly what Storks delivers.
For the baby!
No. Just a brief exposure to baby cuteness can ruin your life.
Storks is a simple story with some light jokes, a short runtime, and some heart underneath everything. What more could you want from a family kids movie? It's not going to change the face of animation. But this year, we've had the entire spectrum of kids movies. We have new classics, Zootopia, Kubo and the Two Strings. You've got great sequels, Finding Dory, Kung Fu Panda 3. But then you have perfect family movies like Secret Life of Pets and Storks. We haven't had a spectrum like this in years. You can just take the family out for a nice night at the movies and you don't have to think too hard. You're not having any sort of political agenda thrown at you or any sort of like scary darkness. This is just a light, fun time at the movies. And that's something that we haven't really had in a while, but Storks has it. Looking ahead to next weekend, though, we have Deepwater Horizon starring Mark Wahlberg. Now, this is a movie about the 2010 oil rig explosion from the director of that patriotic Lone Survivor film. We've got a white man in danger with a family back home and lots of talk of heroes in the trailer. So it sounds like a really safe pro-America movie. So it's no mistake that this came out a couple months before the election. It's far enough away to where it's not going to get lost in the white noise, but it's still going to get a boost from the nationalism that's going to be on the rise in the next couple of months. Also coming out this weekend is Tim Burton's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, starring Asa Butterfield and Eva Green, based on the novel by Ransom Riggs. Now, this is sort of like a teenage gothic X-Men. I'm really looking forward to it. And even though I don't think it's going to take the top of the box office, it's sort of like this creepy movie that's going to kind of whet the palate for all the movies coming up in October. And lastly, we finally see the release of Jared Hess's Masterminds, a crime comedy starring Zach Galifianakis and Kristen Wiig. Now, this movie has been delayed 4 different times since its original release date of August 2015, and normally that is a death sentence for a movie like this. However, we have a cast with Zach Galifianakis, Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, Owen Wilson. That's really solid, and then a cult following that the Hesses have, especially after Napoleon Dynamite. I really don't see it being the downfall of this movie, but I highly doubt it'll crack the top 5. Well, that's all for this week. We have 3 starkly different films opening this weekend, so there should be something for everyone. So go see a movie or two and tune in next week for Making Dollars and Cents at the box office.